All right, guys. Joe from takeahikeshop.com here. Um, Kind of in a hurry to get somebody's bike done, but I've been wanting to get this video done for a while on changing the travel on this really awesome, very affordable Markhor fork, as you can see right there. So a lot of people are getting these for either they're Diamondbacks or GTs that aren't really too bad of bikes. They just could use a little upgrade, particularly the fork. Similar with the typical lower end Treks and those kind of bikes, Marlins, things like that. So the ones that come with those big clunky Suntour forks or whatever they are, XCTs or whatever crazy names they have for them. They weigh like 7 pounds. This guy here weighs about, I think it's like 3.2 pounds. So it cuts it in half, and then it actually works. So this is cartridge air. You can change the travel from 80 to 120. It comes as a 100. Most of them that we mess with, we put these on a lot of the bikes that we do. We switch it over to 120. So anyways, there was no videos on how to do it before. So I figured I should throw it out there, maybe help people out. Also, we're a very friendly shop. We're always here to help people. So if you're doing it, maybe you even bought it from us. We are the best price online. And you have any problems at all, use our text line 636-255-4715 and just ask a question and we'll be happy to answer. So try to run through this pretty quick because I need to get this bike done. But anyways, first thing obviously after you get it out of the box is get rid of the pressure out of it. So as you're decompressing it or pushing down on it, hit the Schrader valve core and release the air. I already did that, so you're not going to see it really compress much. And then the other thing that you can do here is you can do this without losing any bath oil, which is really cool. It's not the easiest thing to pull off, but it can be done. So your next move here, very simple, is to get yourself, what is this, 13/16? Slide right over the cap here. Now you're only going to be working on the cartridge or the positive side. So the negative side you're going to leave alone. Now you do want to make sure that that's unlocked, but you'll know that when you decompress it because it won't go anywhere. So this one's unlocked, and like I said, we're just going to be working on the cartridge side. So put that on there. I do advise to use a socket versus like a crescent wrench or something like that, because the crescent wrench will scratch at least something more than you want it to, and that'll just piss you off. So anyways, even though the fork is only a few $100, it's still a pretty damn good fork, and you probably want it to look new. So use a socket, bust that loose, pretty easy, it's not crazy tight, and then go ahead and remove this guy. I think this is pretty much the same deal for the Manitou machete fork as well. So I do like to make sure that I keep like a nice spot for this, because when we get all this apart it's going to be pretty greasy, and I also just don't want to lose anything, so keep that in mind when you're doing it. So as you can see down there, right there is the top cap of the cartridge. And we're going to see that pop up after we go open the valve to the oil bath. So right here is that valve right there. You can see that. And we're going to be popping that out. So that works as two things. It works as an oil plug, and then it also holds the slider in place inside that. So we'll never actually get that part out of it, but we'll be unscrewing it from there so the cartridge can pop out, and then we can make our adjustments. So what I like to do is be able to use my body on it, and like I said, if you can keep it flat, which I believe is the face of it, keep it on the face of it, down, you'll be able to achieve that pretty well. I just put it right on the edge of a table, so I can keep it level and still work on it, and then I also put it against a wall or like some kind of solid surface right here, So you can kind of use your hips because you're going to need to be able to push in that last, 40 millimeters or so in order to get the plug back seated onto the slider. So, what's that? The plug is a 7/16. Pop that out. Nothing to that. And we're going to do our best to not lose any oil. If done properly, this can be done without having really to do any replacement of grease or oil. So keep that in mind. Now what you'll do is, as you see, so you unscrew it, and then it's still, the plug is in there tight, as it is a liquid seal, has an O-ring on it. So once you get it unthreaded, you'll have to actually pull it out a little bit in order to get it to pop. Otherwise it'll just keep spinning. We'll put that over there. Then we're going to kind of keep our mind on the fact that we have that plug out. We don't want to spill oil out of it. It's easy to forget. So now that we have that detached, we'll get an Allen wrench. Let me see what size that is that I do. You probably have it right here. Okay, that's a 6 millimeter. I think this is the right one. We'll find out though. You're going to put that right through the center and then compress it. Compress it, and you can hold it with your leg or hand. And then if you push this, okay, it looks like probably wrong, and it's going to be the 8 millimeter. It needs to catch on to that. That'll be the 8 millimeter. Yeah. And you'll know that because it just barely fits. I just didn't remember that from last time. So, you obviously don't want to hurt anything, so you're going to think at first, oh man, should I push on this like that? But just give it a little shove. Don't be scared of it. And then, as you can see right here, I have my cartridge that's popped out of it. Cap comes off the top. Go ahead and set that aside. Nice greasy sucker. And then, your choice of rag or whatever. I like these Pro Gold towels. Grab the cartridge unit, pull that out, and then you're going to see that it has that 20 millimeter spacer that we want to get rid of, so we can make the travel on this 120. Now if you want to make it to an 80, you're going to be adding the spacer that Manitou gives you with the fork. So anyways, next move here is to get this rubber seal off. So this is where it gets kind of messy. You don't really have a choice, but you grab it and you can slide that rubber seal off of the whole thing, grease staying in place. Okay, so that's off there. Set that aside. And then we just need to get rid of the 20 millimeter spacer. So grab that, yank that off. Okay, and then I'll just there's a bunch of grease built up in the inside of that, so I just go ahead and kind of gunk it on there. As a resource, it was in there, so like I said, we shouldn't have to add anything. We just do it properly and we should be good to go. So grease all that up, grease the edges, and then I'll set that aside because we're done with that thing. So now it's pretty easy. Like I said, this is a really easy thing. So we're going to put the rubber seal back on. Oof. Or drop it and make a giant stinky greasy mess, which is what I did. Not always the most graceful, but we're trying. So slide that back on. We'll spread the grease out a little bit. Slide that grease back over the whole slider too. Certainly not going to hurt anything, and there's plenty of it. So it's a really easy thing to do, and for whatever reason there's just not a video. So you kind of look at the warnings and be warned that you are dealing with compressed air. So if you just jump into it the wrong way, you're you could hurt yourself. But you come see these warnings and you see no YouTube videos on it, and you know, you're like, oh man, I don't necessarily know I want to just go jumping in there and ruin my brand new fork. Probably begged your wife to get in the first place. So anyways, really easy. We're just going to slide that back in there now and try to make contact with the connector, because you can see there that when I had that oil plug in, or when I took the oil plug out, it's actually connecting right here. So that's going to slide through the middle of the leg all the way to the bottom, and that's the tricky part, is getting that oil plug to catch again, but very doable. So take this, slide it in. Okay. Now what we're going to do is slide the white cap back on. And at this point, we'll probably have to compress this a little bit. We might actually, so what you'll see here, I'll put the white cap back over there, so we didn't get to slide in yet. What you're gonna see is kind of difficult to show you here, but inside there, you're gonna be able to look inside of that oil plug hole and see that cartridge thread in there, and it's just not lining up. So usually what I'll do is just grab like a smaller Allen wrench or something and kind of work its way to where it's centered, and you can get a bolt to land on the threads there. Sometimes it's super easy and it's nothing to it, and you know, something that takes a couple minutes to catch. So anyways, grab my, probably try a 6mm here, try to get down to eye level so you can see what's going on there. And then you can see that it's like not centered, and you'll know what I mean when you're looking at it. So what we'll do is compress it and try to push that back in there. See if we can find a good spot. Now, if you kind of turn it too, I think it actually has probably like a little star of teeth as you see the shape of the actual cartridge rod. You turn it, and then all of a sudden it'll fall further in there. Now I'm going to look down, see where I'm at on it. I don't see it yet, but the slider that it rides in has gotten tighter, and that's a good sign. Now we're probably just haven't compressed it enough. Looks like we're all the way compressed. Okay, now we'll see if it's in there. And grab a tape, and that way you'll actually feel where it's at. And I do not feel that it's made contact with the bottom yet. Oh, it's actually pushed back out, so that's not going to work. Okay, yeah, there you go. I just gave it, after you get it, the star to, you turn it and you feel it fall into line, and then you're going to have to give it a good hard push with, you know, an Allen wrench or your finger or whatever works fine. So, like I said, get it in there, then get the star, turn it until the star falls in place, and then it falls into the fork leg, and then give it an extra push, and you'll feel it shoot all the way down. Now put your white cap back on, kind of keep it all in place there for you. Slide that all the way till it makes contact with the top of that, and then now when we look down, it looks like it is perfectly lined up. Now you'll know that because you're going to put your oil plug back in there. So pop that in, start screwing it, and if you feel like you got threads, well, your money in. So this time it actually has worked really quite easy. Each time you do it, you're going to get a little better. So this is my third time doing this Markhor fork. So I've lost no oil, virtually no grease, which is great. So we got that contacted back. We're going to go ahead and tighten that down. And then, you know, if it doesn't tighten down, then you didn't make contact with the rod, and you're just screwing into nothing. So you'll know, and you don't need to over tighten it. Yeah, when you take it off, you'll feel that it's actually not very tight at all from the factory. So let's get it back to there, maybe just a pinch tighter, and let it be. And then now, it's amazing how easy it is. Pick the fork back up. Now we're not going to leak any fluid, so we got our plug back in there. So we just need to reinstall this guy. Make sure it threads straight because you don't want any problems there. We're almost home. So, you know, sometimes maybe giving it a wipe off there, off the threads, make sure it's clean. Maybe wipe the inside threads as well. Make sure they look good. But you know, if you've done stuff like this before, you'll realize if there's a problem. Just don't force anything. So screw that back in there. Put your what was that? What size is this guy? 13/16. Put that 13/16 back on there. This wasn't real tight either, so you don't overdo it. I'm sure there's probably a chart that tells you. I've been working on things since I was, I don't know, 10 or so. So I got a pretty good feel from what it was to where it needs to be. This is snug. It's very much a firm stop bolt, so you'll know where it's at. And then you know, the easy part from there is I'm not even going to show you. Just simply throw on your high pressure pump. Remember, not a regular pump. That ain't going to work. High pressure pump. You can get them from us. You can get them from anywhere, really. Really, they're all pretty much the same. So I would recommend buying one of the cheaper ones, like the Manitou or the X Fusion. They all do the same thing. But make sure you throw your high pressure pump on there, and then pump it back up, and bam, for 200 bucks, 210 bucks. Like I said, if you get it from us, you can have an awesome fork, and this totally changes the crappy Trek Marlin that you were riding. Like, your friends all have these other bikes. You thought you were getting a cool bike because it said Trek on it, and you were kind of like, wow, this is pretty lame. This will make the front end of your bike 3 pounds lighter, and it'll actually function. So, you guys got any questions? Like I said, hit the text line 636-255-4715. Otherwise, takeahikeshop.com is the place to go. I mean, our deal is we're always going to be competitive against anyone that's reputable, and we're actually here to help you. We do all the same things you do. So, anyways, Joe from Take a Hike Shop. Have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye.